Hey everybody, it's Phoenix, and I just wanted to quickly pop on and talk about something that I've sort of been noticing in my travels and just speaking with people on LinkedIn, you name it. And a lot of it has to do with not just self confidence, but really, um, you know, I've heard everything from imposter syndrome to lack of confidence to, um, just the inability to sort of get started, be it a project or something you really, really want to do, at least in your head, but you just don't have the either the faculties or the sort of preparation or really the confidence to actually get it started. And that's one thing I want to sort of quickly dispel. When I started on my own journey that was outside of what I had done for the last 27 years, which is being an executive assistant, it was hard. It was scary. It was, just laden with every potential booby trap on the face of the planet. I didn't know if I was, full of it or if I was actually able to pull it off. I just I just didn't know. But the one thing I did know is that after 27 years of doing a really damn good job at what I was doing, I learned a few things. And it really sort of fell upon me to trust my instincts and know that I could at some point figure it out. Luckily, we live in an information age where you can pretty much figure anything out with a few Google searches, a good YouTube search, a big ass glass of wine, and, a few hours of your time. And that's really what I'm trying to get at. I have sort of a big problem with people who self deprecate. And I like to call it self defecate because you're essentially shitting on your dreams. And you're doing it to yourself as opposed to other people doing it to you. I look at self deprecation as basically providing yourself an excuse not to perform and not to hold yourself accountable. So I tend not to surround myself with people who self deprecate, and I will call it out. Yeah, I believe in living your best life and doing your own thing, but I also believe in surrounding yourself with people who build you up, and people who also hold you to a standard if you're not holding it, holding yourself to a certain standard, because that is what makes us better, and that is what kind of pulls us out of the jaws of sort of mediocrity and of excuses and just not really putting in the effort. That's why people like David Goggins exists, is because he tells it to you in no uncertain terms. You have to do the work, and you have to stop believing your own bullshit and really just put your head down and do the work, and you'd be shocked at how much you can get achieved when you really, really focus and put your efforts and your intention and all of your oomph behind doing something. And I think that's where we get lost. So for those of you that reach out to me asking, hey, how do I do this, or I don't know if I can really do that, I mean, I don't really know many people, and blah blah blah, and people looking for mentors and all this other stuff, I say mentor yourself. Make sure that you are bossed up in an amazing way. Research everything. Anytime I don't understand something, I'm on Google so fast it'll make your head spin. If I don't, if I don't understand a concept that requires more than a Google search, I'll reach out to people that I know. I'll reach out to ex-bosses or other assistants or just peers, anything, in order to get those answers. And that will sort of start creating a habit that will allow you to really think through situations, using your critical thinking skills to really think, how does this map to this, and how does that map to this? And once you start putting those puzzles in place, you'd be shocked at how quickly, one, they'll become ingrained, and then two, how quickly you will be able to sort of achieve certain goals, to achieve certain levels that you actually weren't even intending to achieve. So that's really what I'm trying to get across here is enough with the excuses. It's so important to believe in yourself. And if you really want to succeed, it has to start there. You have to believe that you were put on this planet with very specific goals, really, or even a specific set of tools that no one else but you has. No one else can do what you do in the exact same way that you do it. It's humanly impossible because there's so much nuance to everything that everyone does. So please understand, you have a unique opportunity on this planet, in the time that you have on this planet, to do something that absolutely no one else can do. Yes, you might be doing a similar task, or you might be trying to achieve a similar result, but how you get there is completely unique to you. So understand that should make you feel empowered to an extent, knowing that no one can do it the way you do. Therefore, no one can really measure your success but you in how you actually achieve it. And that's really what I want to get across. Stop listening to all these people telling you, this is the right way and this is the right way. I mean, that's something I try not to do in my workshops. I don't tell you what to do. I can suggest based on what worked for me. And you can take the little bits and pieces that, that resonate, or that you feel comfortable enough, tackling, or, adding to your process. And from there, you build upon it. That's what I love about life in general, but that's really what I love about getting into business, and especially getting into business for myself. One, it forces you into a higher gear. You have to perform or you don't eat. And I love that. That might scare the crap out of a lot of people. It doesn't scare me at all. In fact, I'm like, bring it on. And then I also don't like putting myself in situations where I have that crutch of, either income from another source or whatever else, when it's, especially if it's something that I'm not really passionate about. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm kind of in a similar situation like that now. But, I think for me, what I also know is that I'm mapping toward a very different future for myself than what is actually happening right now. And that excites me, because I know for a fact that, I'll be completely scot-free of anyone else as a motivator, anyone else as an income source, anyone else as, any sort of crutch in order for me to achieve my dreams. It is all on me. And the people that, of course, the teams that I bring in and the people that I partner with and all of that, of course. But at the same time, it all stops with me, and the buck stops with me. And that to me is exciting. And that's another reason why I push entrepreneurialism or side hustles or any of that, just because I want people to really feel what it feels like to not have to answer to anyone else, to not have to depend on, someone else's check. And also, if that check disappears, knowing that you'll be okay. A lot of us can't say that. A lot of us have only depended on a check. A lot of us have all of these great talents that, and wishes and dreams and hopes and desires that have gone dusty or rusty, that we simply need to blow the dust off of and pick them up again, get them current, get on YouTube, get on Google, and try it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a side hustle. There's nothing wrong with trying something. And even if you fail forward, learn the lessons and try it again. No one that I know, and no lesson that I've ever learned has been just scot-free, meaning point A, get in, point Z, done, and have it be smooth sailing the entire way. My life is just not set up like that. So kudos to you if yours is, but mine has never gone to plan. Read my book, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So, that's really what this is about. Believe in yourself. And even though that's cute on paper, make it a goal. Make it, so that you set your life up in such a way where you can believe in yourself. And the easiest way to do that, and the easiest way past this whole imposter syndrome BS, is to realize that, it takes time to perfect things. It takes time to gather momentum toward your dream. But the only way you're going to gather momentum is you actually have to move, and you have to move at a consistent pace, and you have to go over and over and over the same damn things, go through the same steps, and each new step you just keep adding on, and then eventually you'll get exactly where you want to be. I tell people, if you're starting a business, give yourself 2 years minimum. That's all this, fly by night stuff, people reading about Uber and Google and all these other, unicorns. It doesn't work like that for everyone else. You have to work at it. I've been at the same, thing for the last 3 years, and, I'm making enough money to survive, but let's be honest, I'm not making, money hand over fist. Yes, I do have a very aggressive plan for this year, leveraging all of the time that I've spent the last 3 years, building a brand and building, credibility based on authenticity. And that's my move. Other people might have other moves, and some more sinister than others, but whatever, do you. I don't give a shit. But one thing I have been is consistent. If you go back through my timeline on LinkedIn, for instance, you will see from the very first day, my very first article, 100 and something articles ago, to now is a complete almost shift, not only in my focus of my writing, but also the sort of goodness of my writing. Some of my first articles were terrible, but I also hit on an article that basically helped build my business. And the reason I did that was like, I think maybe my 13th article that I wrote. So it wasn't the very first one out the gate. So that's what you have to understand. In order to build a business, you have to be consistent. In order to gain confidence, you have to be consistent. And you have to sort of tune out everyone else and listen to your own voice. Your instincts will tell you the truth 100% and not lie to you. And you have to listen to them. When you don't, shit goes cray. Anyone will tell you that. So really trust your instincts. Understand that it's going to take time in order to manifest your dreams, but stop giving up. The second someone, pokes a hole in your balloon, okay, so what? My thing is cool. Cool. I take it with a grain of sand. Everyone has an opinion. What did I say? My grandmother used to say this, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they're all full of shit. So I'm a complete believer in that. Your people's opinions don't really matter to me. They only matter if they're helping me get better. If they're providing me with feedback, useful feedback that I can then use to iterate what it is that I'm doing in order to be more pleasing to a consumer, or to be more customer forward or customer centric, or surprise and delight, whatever. That's the only time an opinion means anything to me. Anyone that has anything to say about me that they can't say to my face is none of my business. If you say it to my face, then, pack a lunch, especially if it's negative, because I will go toe to toe with you. I have no issue doing that. But, most people won't say things to your face. They'll leave it in the DMs or leave it in these snarky ass comments. And I think it's funny. I just make popcorn and pour wine, because it's like, okay, you're a pussy and you couldn't say it to my face. So that gives you what credibility? So sorry, digression, and I'm not even drinking. Really all I'm saying is this. Stop expecting things to happen overnight for you. Confidence doesn't come overnight. Real confidence comes from putting in the work and putting in the repetition and, falling, stumbling, failing, but failing forward, knowing that you will eventually get it right. That's really what it comes down to. So be kind to yourself, first of all, but also start challenging yourself. Start putting yourself in some uncomfortable positions. Start putting yourself out there and stop worrying about what people have to say about you. The funny thing is about what I always love about people is they don't really give a shit past maybe between 15 seconds and 2 minutes. You're not even a thought anymore. Thank you, social media world. So don't even worry about it. It's not that deep. My thing is, if you have a goal, if you have a dream, make that the center of your life. Figure out what it is that you can focus on, that feels just like, ooh, when I achieve that, then I know for a fact I'm successful. And map your way to it. Map your way back. Figure out each step along the way that will get you where you want to be. And that's what you focus on, not what people have to say along your journey. Whatever. If they're not paying your bills, shut the hell up. That's how I roll. So, that's all I'm trying to say. So again, with the confidence thing and this whole imposter syndrome thing, you're only an imposter, or you should only have imposter syndrome if you know for a fact that you're faking the funk. My thing is, if you're trying and you're in a room with people that kind of already done it and are, successful at it, then don't feel like an imposter. Start asking questions. That's a perfect opportunity for you to annoy the shit out of people, asking them questions. How did you do it? when I have a situation like this, how would you have handled that? Or, can I ask you a few more questions after this event? That sort of thing. That's how you get rid of the whole, imposter syndrome and, oh, I'm not worthy bullshit. You got to get that narrative out of your head. If you know what it is that you want and you are willing to give up anything and to do anything to get there, then I assure you, put in the work and it will happen. Real simple. So have a great night, and I will hit you again soon. Bye.